You're a cat. Hi, kitty cat. What you thinking about? His name?
That's Taz.
Taz. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was Taz or Tazzy. Tazzy earlier. All right, Taz. What are your thoughts on Soul Journey? Did you enjoy the album?
It's a good reaction.
What did you think? You're right. There's so much to think about.
So if I don't have Twitch, I can't.
We'll let you watch.
I don't know. Like, how am I supposed to look at this?
So, go there. It should. Yeah, you should be able to watch on this.
Okay.
Hi, bud.
It'll load.
You are just sticking your hands straight down.
Watch.
Hi. Hi. You are just sticking your hands straight down. Okay, I didn't know it was live.
We are.
Sorry.
We're live right now.
This is the real content.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't need to worry about the other
Hi,
stuff.
everybody. This is Taz the cat.
This is the real content.
He is here to help us reflect on our musical journeys tonight.
Hey guys, everybody hop on. Let's get ready. We'll get started here in just a second. We're getting all the animals.
All 11.
Their FaceTime.
Taz is a huge fan. Like, share with your friends, please.
Yeah, go listen to A Soul Journey.
Welcome guys to our Facebook Live, our Twitch Live. And we're going to get started here in just a second. I'm Justine Blazer. It's Gareth Campbell.
I'm Janey Violet.
And
I'll be moderating.
we're getting ready. So everybody hit share, hit like. Let's get everybody on. And we'll rock and roll.
It's awesome.
Can I put him down on the floor? Where's he?
Yeah, I'll grab them.
Oh, all right. Going back to Mama.
All right, guys. We're going to say goodbye.
Bye, Taz.
Bye, Taz. It's awesome.
A little cat intro.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing better than some good music and good kitty cuddles.
Yeah. I think more people should do that right now. How's everybody out there? If you have any questions, put them through on the stream if you're on Twitch. You may be able to do it through the online Facebook link too, so let's see if it works. If not, you can probably just message any of us on Facebook if there's anything you want to say or ask.
All right. Well, here we are.
Sweet.
Absolutely. Are we ready to get started?
I think we're ready.
Awesome. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to our Behind the Music for Gareth Campbell's A Soul Journey. My name is Janey Violet, and I'm so excited to be moderating today. Here with me, we have Gareth Campbell. He is a multi-award-winning and chart-topping recording artist and songwriter. His recent EP, A Soul Journey, debuted at #2 on the iTunes Jazz Chart, and he's nominated for 3 Josie Music Awards. He looks forward to celebrating these nominations this fall at the Grand Ole Opry. Along with him today, we have his producer, Justine Blazer. Justine is a multi-award-winning Billboard charting producer and songwriter with a #1 on iTunes, Amazon bestseller, and she's a Grammy voter. So we're so excited to have such amazing people here today. And we're going to be talking about A Soul Journey. So Gareth, can you tell us a little bit about this album, what it means to you, and why you're so excited to get it out in the world?
Yeah, this is a super meaningful album to me. 5 songs all about important events in my life. And Justine and I started writing this in April of 23 and went for some months making sure we got all the writing done over Zoom and whatever it took. We made it to Omnison's studios in downtown Nashville in September to cut all the tracks with really amazing session musicians. For me, that was a moment that just really made me want to push my career and everything I try in music to another level. It was wonderful. And then we released everything this April of this year and charted at #2 off the bat, so that was really sweet.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I've been working with Gareth. I think I met you 2019. It was definitely before COVID, and you started coming to some of my shows, and we just started connecting and writing. And it was shortly after COVID started and the pandemic. We were working through all that. We were working remotely, and we got our first nomination with Josie Music Awards, and then our first award together was Rock Song of the Year in 2021. And that just kind of kick-started everything. That really just solidified our working relationship, and we felt that we had something really special. So as years went on, we released more music and we wrote more songs together, and we just kept making it happen. And I came to Gareth, it was about winter or springtime of last year, and I said, hey, what if we kind of went like a jazz direction? And he was like, jazz, interesting, okay, maybe. And I said, let's just start writing in kind of that hybrid jazz pop, jazz folk, jazz space, and let's see if that's something that makes sense for rebranding and just kind of getting his voice really settled into a space that makes sense, because he's got a phenomenal voice. Obviously you guys are fans, you know where he is vocally, and I wanted to take that one step further. And it was kind of those risk versus reward decisions. We all kind of have those in life, and I just kind of went on a whim and I was like, let's try this. And so far it's really paid off, with him charting #2 and already nominated for EP of the Year and Multi-Genre Artist of the Year and Vocalist of the Year at the Josie Awards, and it's only been out for like a month or so. So we're already seeing some really good residuals from this decision. So yeah, would love to dive more into this conversation.
Yeah, that's so impressive. Before we move on, Gareth, do you want to share a little bit about your thoughts jumping into jazz and kind of making that leap?
Yeah, I've always loved the smooth jazz sound, the vocal ranges and inflections of jazz artists. So it wasn't like something I wasn't open to, but just never really found that range in my voice, that pocket, and we found it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really cool thing, and everything I'm doing now is focused in that space and working on that type of voice.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, I really feel like it just hones in onto your artistry that much more, and it really just gives a level of authenticity and just really cultivating what you are as a writer and as a songwriter, and as an artist. And I think your writing it's very eclectic, it's very quirky in some ways, and we're able to channel that, I think, much more in this sort of jazz hybrid space where it allows for that. So it's exciting.
That's so cool. So speaking of this really, beautiful sound that you got going on, you mentioned recording at the Omni Sound Studios. Do you want to share a little bit more about that experience?
Absolutely. So this is kind of the first brick and mortar studio, that I've experienced in like Nashville. And there's platinum records everywhere. I mean, you can just feel the history of the music and who's been there, and just the amazing creations that go on every day. And we worked with the session musicians who can create magic in 10 minutes, of listening to a demo. And so we got to experience this and work with them here and there, but their creative mastery is so great. You're just kind of like a little tweak here and there, but it was phenomenal. It pushed me to want to get myself to another level too, and try new things and instruments and whatever. So yeah, it was amazing.
That's the magic of Nashville. That's one of the great points of living here, is you have access to some of the best musicians in the world. I've been here 13 years, and it still just boggles my mind that they're in my backyard. And so when we discussed the album itself and how do we move forward with this, and with his past stuff, I've done it a few different ways. I've either programmed the stuff, or it's all kind of been in my studio or in house, or done remotely with COVID. A lot of different ways we had done this in the past, but I figured since we're doing a jazz album, I want to make sure that everything on there feels authentic. It is authentic. I want it to feel like there's a band. It isn't just something that we're slapping together, overdubbing. And that's exactly what we did. So everybody was there. It was a 6-piece band. We had bass, drums, guitar, keys, acoustic, and steel, pedal steel, which sounds country, but it really wasn't. The way that he had played it was done very weird, like with a lot of different effects, and it was more like served as a pad to the album. And then the only thing we did overdub was we had Suzanne Grisana on Blow Your Horn, and then we had Shay Watson on I think it was one of the songs. I think it was actually Blow Your Horn as well. So that was the only thing that we did that was sort of aftermath. Everything else that you guys hear was done that moment, that day, one take, all the way through, front to back. Very minimal corrections or overdubs, and that was kind of the idea. Is what we did that moment. That's what kept. So, yeah, it was really exciting. And then of course we just did your vocals, and I just mixed and mastered it. And I wanted to make sure it was a really kind of organic mix and master. I didn't want to over process it or over edit anything. I just really wanted to, like, here it is. This is what we did that moment in time, and that's the experience that people are experiencing. So yeah,
it's beautiful. And now I'm kind of obsessed with pedal steel and lap steel because they just sound
right.
so cool.
You think of it as just like in country songs, but it's not necessarily, depending on in the context of it and the execution of that. It could be done in so many different ways, as we saw in a jazz album.
Right.
So yeah.
And there's so many different beautiful details and elements that go into making this album special. I'd love to break down song by song, you know, what inspired each song, what that process was like, and anything that you really feel you want to share. So the album opens with This Old House. I'd love to start there and really see, you know, how you reflect on that process.
So This Old House, it was about a house that I bought in 2017, and it doesn't necessarily highlight exact problems of the house, but just the random things that can happen to a house. You know, like I did have gophers, and you'll hear about those in the song, and you know, that whole shenanigans. And you'll hear about other things that are unique to the house. But I wanted to highlight that it's a good house, but like any house, it has its kind of quirks and stuff like that. But that was a really fun one.
Yeah, no, it was all 5 songs on the album were essentially Gareth's top lines, his ideas. So I thought it was really interesting for him to say, I want to write a song about a house, you know, and it's like, okay, but the way it was done in a kind of a quirky way, but it made sense. It made sense in the context, and the musicians were able to just nail that, because we wanted this kind of story to it, the sort of beginning, middle, and end to the song, and I think this fits in this jazz space that we're doing, and the way that we did it. So yeah, it was done in a way that I think it worked really well together. I'm excited about that. So
that was super, and to hear all of the guys in the studio just goofing around, like, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And it just gets, you know, a little more quirky, and then they hit this magical quirkiness that it was perfect.
But it was done like flawlessly at the same time. So once again, it was kind of that divine sort of intervention, if you will, of like right timing meets great musicians meets just perfect alignment, and we nailed it. So exciting.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So moving on from This Old House, we go into Two Hearts.
Two Hearts is really about kind of what it feels like for two people to become kind of their two hearts almost being as one in a relationship or something like that. So it goes through trying to highlight all those feelings and the highs and the consistency of it. It's really kind of beautiful song. I don't really know much to say about it other than that.
Yeah, it's a classic love song. It just feels like you'd hear this at a wedding. You know, it's definitely our love song on the album. I'm not big on love songs. That's not my thing. I've never been that, but I loved the way that we did this one, because it did pull at your heartstrings a little bit, and it was just beautiful. And his voice was just like, it bloomed throughout the song, and it really made it what it was. So I encourage everybody to take a listen to that. If you have someone special in your life, maybe you can relate to it. Even if you just have like your dog or your cat, like two hearts, you know, it makes sense. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like a significant other. It can be anybody that you love in your life.
I don't think you can, you know, trust someone that doesn't listen to love songs about their cat.
Yeah,
I know I do.
for sure.
And then at the heart of the album, we have I Feel Electricity. I would love to hear a little bit about that process and how you put this song together.
Okay. I Feel Electricity was, you're really into somebody, and you're like, yeah, this is great and all this, but then they just kind of flip it on you, and all of a sudden, it's not good. And it kind of, it's got a weird twist at the end, but it's good.
Yeah, I remember we were actually working on this in the studio. We actually made some changes kind of on the fly, which I don't normally like to do. I like to have everything like super organized, but we did kind of throw this at the musicians at the end because the whole song is just 1/4 progression. It's like the whole way through you're just going C and you're going to F all the way through. But then we wanted to show this tension at the end, and if you listen to the song, you'll notice we go to like a minor, and we end on that minor, and we just sort of vamp out. Well, we didn't. The guys did. They vamped out, and we switched a couple lyrics, and that shows the juxtaposition in the song because it starts off with this "I feel electricity," and you think like, oh wow, they're like, in love, whatever.
Yeah.
And then there is a twist towards the end, and we did that deliberately because we wanted it to feel like there was this tension within the song and within the relationship, and I think it correlates to life in itself because it may sound really good in the beginning and you feel this electrifying experience, but then there's like this weird twist, and we wanted it to leave people feeling kind of unresolved, and because it ends on that minor, like it doesn't end on this happy note. And that was intentional. So I hope people picked up on that and felt the little bit of like tension within the song. And that was something that we kind of did on the fly because it wasn't quite happening the way that we were imagining it. So we made some changes in the studio to accommodate that because we wanted it to feel the tension. And we did. And we did it. So sometimes you have to just kind of roll with it sometimes. But that's what we did. Yeah.
I loved how quickly they were like, oh, I know what to do. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, and we really channeled a lot of artists in this one, particularly Joe Cocker, because we wanted that kind of funky, like jazzy feel to it, and so that's what we did, but like with our own spin on it. So yeah, hopefully people kind of picked up on that and liked it, because this is one of my favorites on the album for sure.
It's great.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So then from I Feel Electricity, we go into Summer Days. Was that process, similar or different?
Yeah, this one was kind of a heartbreak song. Kind of goes into how Summer Days are usually supposed to be great, and I want people to explore the lyrics on their own, so we'll leave it at that, but like how it can't be great if something is not happening well in your life. So it's kind of a story of heartbreak, and this one was really neat and unique for me because I was able to supply the viola track for this song. So if you listen to it and you hear strings, that's me on the viola. It was really fun.
Yeah, no, I love this one. This one was like definitely the tearjerker of the album, like when we're sitting there in the studio and we're both like looking at each other, we're like nudging each other, we're like, oh my god, like it's just because seeing these guys, it was guys, you just had to have been there. It was just like, oh my god, it was just so amazing to see these guys just bring these songs that we've been working on for months to life, and hearing it like pretty much just done in like a matter of minutes, and it's just, you hear it just bloom, and it's astonishing how they can just bring it to life like that. So we were both looking at each other, we're like, oh my god, because it was just so beautiful. But the song is very touching because it once again it's a juxtaposition, because you think, oh, Summer Days, we associate summer with happy-go-lucky, and it's the opposite to that. It's very somber and it's very sad, because you're in this, what society calls like this happy time, but you're isolated, you're by yourself, and we wanted it to feel stripped down in the beginning, which it was. It just kind of starts with the guitar and the vocals and very intimate, but then it kind of blooms into this orchestral sort of moment in the song, and then kind of pulls back, and we wanted it to be sort of a resonance to the highs and the lows in the emotional journey that people can be on.
Yeah,
so in a breakup.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's a lot. I think some of those songs can be really evocative for listeners, and I think that as people listen, they'll definitely get to feel that journey that you went on. So after Summer Days, we wrap up the EP with Blow Your Horn.
Yeah.
Why is this the song that we chose to wrap up on? What was that process like?
So this song was just kind of saying, hey, do your thing. It's in support of people, everybody doing what they want to do and what they love. And it's just kind of blow your own horn, tell the world what you're doing, be proud of what you're doing, don't let anybody stop you. and no matter what they think or where they are in your life. That was kind of the gist behind it. And we wanted something really memorable in this song, and it was going to be the trumpet, and then we landed on saxophone with Suzanne Gazana, and that's just...
The icing on the cake.
Yeah, icing on the cake.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
No, exactly, and that was something that, once again, Gareth kind of brought all these ideas to the table initially, and I just kind of helped him finish the song. So I credit him to all of these top lines and all these song titles. So he was like, hey, let's have a song about particularly women and empowerment, which, is a big thing right now. We have to make sure we continue to keep equality and everybody feeling like they're included, and especially in music business, because it is so kind of, we're not quite where we need to be yet.
Yeah.
We're
a little
still
bit of work to be done.
A little bit more work to be done. So I think this was not just a literal sense of like, oh, blow your horn, but it's more like a be loud. We associate horns with like loud. They take up space, they take up room, and we want to have that same kind of movement, but in life. Girl, blow your horn. That's the lyrics. Girl, blow your horn. All the notes high and low. Don't be shy. Don't hold back. Really be who you are and own it. And I think, as Gareth, as being a white male, like it's great that he's able to kind of spread the word, and continue that movement. As someone like yourself who is being the voice and the anthem of that, and then people like Janey and I can just be like, yeah, let's just all just work together and make something spectacular happen. And so we did the song, and we had no horn in it. Obviously we didn't have the horn, and so I was thinking like, who can I think of that I would be the best for this, and I reached out to Suzanne. I connected you guys, and Suzanne was able to do it, and she sent me all her parts, and boom, it was done. And it was just a matter of like a couple days, and we finished it. And I had no edits, I had nothing to really add to it. I'm like, I don't play horn, so that to me is like just astonishing that anyone can just be like, and like they make it sound awesome. So and Suzanne was on my album too, for Girls Singing the Blues, and she was on Tears of Blue, and she did a great job with that, so I knew it was going to be a great fit for your stuff as well. So I was excited.
That was really cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's it with, blow your horn. It's just empowerment and support.
I feel like those songs all work together in such a special way. It seems like you cover a lot of ground and, pack a lot of heart into one EP. It seems like I'm not the only one that feels that way. I know that you're being recognized by the Josie Awards. Do you want to talk about what stepping into that, getting all this recognition for an album that you put your heart into feels like? Share with any of our aspirational viewers.
Of course. It's heartwarming, really, and it's overwhelming, because you go through the experiences in your life, which could be years and years, and you have to process and work through all those things, and then you have to convert all that emotion or thoughts or whatever into a song, and then you go through the whole process of writing and making demos and studio recording and all that. So it's just, it may on the outside just look like, hey, okay, great, there's this album that got released and it's being recognized, but it's really like part of my soul that's kind of gone into that, and all my life experiences that had to happen in order for this to come to fruition. So I think that's why it feels so overwhelming and special.
Yeah, no, I echo in that. I get really like close to a lot of my artists that I work with, obviously, because I spend so much time with them, and there's been many times where Gareth and I are out to lunch, and we're like really getting down in the nitty-gritty of just life, talking about things, and I think all of these moments, whether you realize it or not, have an intention, have a reason, and it leads us to write the songs that we're writing, and bring the music to where it needs to be, and creating the songs that we're creating. And as much as sometimes these conversations are like, why are we having these conversations, but at the end of the day, it's what makes you authentic. It's what makes art. Art is subjective, art is personal, and someone like Rick Rubin has said, you don't make art for others, you make art to express yourself, to express the emotions inside of you, for the stories that you've lived, whether people recognize it or not. It's not made for them. It's made for you to express yourself. So the fact that people just happen to recognize it too, that's a bonus. But we don't make music, and none of us make music or art with the hopes of like impressing people. Like that shouldn't be anyone's motivation, honestly. It should just be your form of expression because you've lived the life that you've lived, the experiences that you've experienced, and you need to channel that somehow, some way. Some people paint pictures, some people run marathons, whatever. We make art, right? So I think it's a beautiful thing to see that people are actually like seeing it in the way that we see it. But if they didn't, we'd still do it anyway. So it's just a bonus.
Right?
Yeah.
And something that's also going to happen after this stream, each song will probably get its own stream to briefly go through the lyrics, the vision, the story behind it, so the viewers can really feel kind of what I was feeling with these songs. So that's just a quick segue.
Cool. Yeah, so look forward to that. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So before we, talk a little bit too far into the future, the title A Soul Journey is really evocative. Do you want to speak a little bit to, what that kind of phrase does to unite these songs? You talked a little about the motivation for the album. What does this sort of symbolize in your career? What are we thinking looking forward?
Okay. A Soul Journey, if you look at the album cover, it is a shoe, and it's kind of like a walk in my shoes in a way, like, come and see what my life was like through these songs. So it's kind of to play on my humor a little bit, but also give the world something meaningful to look at, like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of traveling through a forest, which can have all sorts of different things in it, and that's what I kind of wanted to relay to the viewers and listeners.
Yeah, we were thinking of titles. What should we call this? And we finally came to the idea of a soul journey, and it's kind of soul is like multiple meanings, because I thought it was interesting how you, Janey, thought it was like SOUL.
Yeah, when you first told me to look up this album, I was like, I can't find it. I have his name, I have the title. And I was like, I think I spelled everything correctly. And I remember texting you and saying, look, like a screenshotting, this is what I've searched. And you're like, oh, it's Soul, SOLE. And I remember thinking that brought so much texture and like brought a whole nother layer to the idea. Because like, we always think about a journey that we take with our souls, but the idea of walking a mile in someone's shoes. And I think it was really shrewd of Gareth to be able to like unite those two ideas. And I think it creates a really cool overarching theme, because the album really does move through so many different little tableaus that are kind of taking you somewhere really interesting and inspirational. Mm-hmm. And it's just this really cool uniting theme, and I'm curious to see how that, continues in your work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great point. I love how you describe that, because it's exactly it. It was just something that we wanted to have kind of multiple play on words with the soul, but then there's also the soul, the journey, and then the like at the beginning. We just didn't want to call it like soul journey, like A's. It was very deliberate, like making sure that it's all three
also and
together.
I'd love if you want to speak to this. So like I think about the meaning of the word soul. I think about soles of your shoes, and that's we got the sneaker on the cover. Mm-hmm. Soul like in your soul, but soul also is in like one, right? Like your sole purpose, your one thing. And I think that's kind of an angle I'd be curious if you want to speak a little bit more to.
Sure. I mean, music has kind of felt like my sole purpose. Just the way songs will come to me, and I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll have a full song playing in my head, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta write this down, or voice memo it or something like that. So it really feels like presenting my life through song is one of my main purposes in life.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's it.
Yeah, it's I've been working with Gareth, like I said, 5 years. That's a long time, and we've never strayed away from the music. Like that's always brings us back to the drawing board. Is his ideas, his is always just like, hey, I've thought of this, hey, let's do it right, hey, this week I thought of XYZ, and I'm just simply adding to, right? And so that's what makes this dynamic really interesting and special, because we're able to continue to keep growing and doing new things and trying new things, and we're already working on the next round of music, which Actually, we should probably like reveal a little bit, but you two are working on a project together, which is really exciting, and that's kind of why we wanted to introduce JD to Gareth's audience. Janey Violet, everybody. So Janey Violet, everybody, I've been working with you about a year now, honestly. It's been about a year, and we've been working on several different singles, which will be releasing very soon, and now we're moving into working on some collaborations with you two, and it's very exciting. Do you guys want to talk about it?
Yeah, so this song is called Wake Up that we're working on, and it's kind of a lazy day in a relationship on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. You just kind of get up, make breakfast, do some things, but it's to highlight that kind of special bond and like playfulness you have with a partner, and kind of the, hey, what do we want to do today, oh, this sounds like fun, or just any of the simple things you want to do. It's supposed to highlight a simple weekend in a relationship, So I wanted to have it be a duet, because it's kind of fun to have the back and forth between the two singers and have their own sets of ideas.
I was really excited when Gareth brought this idea. Justine had reached out to me about the collaboration, and I normally am kind of grounded in like a very kind of theatery Americana country world, and so doing something that is allowing me to grow as an artist is so exciting, and getting to work with Gareth, because I've heard your music before when we've all kind of been in sharing space in other music contexts, and so getting to link up and work on something new is really exciting. And I always think there's something so visceral and special about those songs that really snapshot a moment, and I think this song does such an excellent job of that. So I really look forward to getting this one out in the world.
And it was we all co-wrote it together. I know once again you had like the original top line idea, and we wanted to accommodate the song to make sense in your guys' world and in your vision as well. So we were able to kind of redraft it and make it what it is now. So we're actually in the production stages as we speak. In fact, we just did Janey's guide vocal this afternoon, and we're gonna get Gareth's here tonight. So guys, stay tuned, because we have a whole bunch of new stuff coming up with that, and it's just really exciting to see everything just come into fruition. So it's exciting. I
think it's always cool as an artist not just to get to like collaborate with so many other people, but to get to do something that kind of steps outside of your comfort zone or steps into a really specific space. And I know for me this song is like doing a great job of doing both, and I'm excited to not only like learn from Gareth's more jazzy background, but get to bring something a little bit more Americana and folky into it and really create something special. I think this is going to be a really awesome collaboration.
Fun.
And I can't wait for you guys to hear Janey's stuff, because it is so amazing. I can't wait for you to release it. Janey's an incredible songwriter, an incredible lyricist. We're working on getting her in a Grammy U. We're working on all kinds of stuff. So it's going to be really exciting to see what happens with all of us. It's just really exciting. And I'm a big believer in collaboration. I think if you get the right people, everything just kind of fits. And we all work together, amazing things happen. And that is the biggest thing I can say is like, if you find somebody that you like to work with, collaborate with them, because, it's greater in numbers, power in numbers, and you can just make more magic. So absolutely. So let's talk a little bit more about the album. So was there a few more questions that we wanted to go over?
Yeah, so I mean, I would always love to dig a little bit deeper into the album. I'd actually like to talk first about like y'all have known each other for 5 years. What has that collaborative process been like? How have we, grown, and now to kind of come together and be able to write something that's, debuting at number 2 and hitting so many accolades. I'd love to know what that kind of co-working creative process was like.
Okay. We started with singing lessons, right?
Yeah, that's right. We did.
And, we got to a certain point, and we're like, hey, let's make music. And our first song we worked on was Stepping Stone, which still is a wonderful song. We made a music video
awesome
for that.
Video. Banger.
Yeah, it's so awesome. So, but our process has always been...
And then we made 2020 View. That was our first kind of big notable things. Is we made 2020 View. We wrote it during COVID. And if you listen to the song, it kind of touches on like, because like 2020 was kind of a like bad year for all of us, like let's be honest. I don't know, it was just kind of a weird year, and so we wanted to take that idea and put it into a song, and so that was sort of the metaphor is this person was like the 2020 of you, and it essentially won us our first Josie award together.
But really, like, our creative process is, like Justine was talking about, me saying, hey, I got this idea, or I'm working on this song or this thing, or, you know, whatever it is, but we always just keep in touch with these things, and that's helped us stay in this working relationship, you know, for 5 years, is we're consistently, and that's the key to everything, is just consistently doing something, but consistently working on songs and having co-writes and, you know, moving everything forward in the career.
Yeah, exactly. And just I you know, me as this side of the role, it's just I'm gonna challenge everyone I'm working with, and as every single track we do, we're gonna continue to challenge ourselves even more, push ourselves even more. What more can we do to outdo the last track? Like that's always been my process with anything that I do. So I think with that mindset over years, you know, you're just gonna see a natural growth and graduation, if you will, gradually see growth if you continue to keep putting forth the effort. You know, you should never be at the same point you were like 5 years ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, nothing like that. So you should continue to keep growing, keep doing that. And so I think it's always been kind of an organic process with this situation, and just trying new things, and now kind of seeing some real like success out of it. It's been exciting to see that, because when you first came to me, I mean, Gareth, like you weren't doing music at all, like you were just kind of getting into it, and now look at where you're at, like in 5 years. It's really exciting to see that. So yeah, I mean, I love it. That's what some of the best things I get to see is this, you know, stories like this. So I love it.
And Justine's always kind of encouraging me to do something different, or try this, or do something, you know, to get into a different section of my vocal abilities, or whatever it is. And you'll hear that in the songs, like Stepping Stone. Since Stepping Stone, you'll hear my range increase. You'll hear like the tone, everything change, you know, as all these songs go forward. And it's so amazing in myself to feel that growth in my vocal abilities and all that, just by trying different things, working with, you know, teachers and coaches and all that. And it's
and put in the work in, but then also, you know, Gareth, you've gone through some stuff. Like, we're not going to get into that, but you have gone through some stuff, and you know, we've talked about it, and it's some stuff is just like so messed up. But I think the difference here is we've been able to channel those really weird and hard times and putting it into our music, where we could just have been like stuck in this really yucky spot in our lives, but we've worked really hard to push that energy and push that through to a spot that is creatively adaptive and creatively cohesive, and we're actually using that toward the good, not just stewing into the pessimistic, why me.
Nobody wins there.
Yeah, nobody wins there, and that's just been something that we've, you know, both have, you know, pushed each other to like get out of that, and let's continue to keep pushing into positive thoughts, manifestation, which I'm really, anyone that knows me knows I'm really into that. So
it works.
Yeah, it totally works. Yeah, we've been able to really work on that. So all those things. Yeah, for sure.
And moving forward, we're looking at probably 2 EPs coming out and
a Christmas song.
Yeah. Within the next probably year and a half or so.
Yeah, the Christmas song will be out obviously this holiday season. And then, you know, your other Christmas song has charted as well, so that's been also on the iTunes charts, which has been exciting. And, you know, more things. We're going to try to get, you know, more charting, more awards, more sync placements, you know, all those things is what we're working on. As indie artists, we're all independent here, you know, this is where we're at, and we use what we can use, and we do what we can do, and it's empowering to be an indie artist right now because there is a lot of opportunity out there. You just got to work a little harder. You got to work a little bit more creatively, a little more smarter because you don't have, the major label kind of backing things up. But I think it's all the more sweeter when you do win and you do see success because you know it's you and it's not just some big machine kind of running in the background. So that's the way I look at it.
Really
Yeah.
nice.
So it's exciting to see that.
So speaking of going forward, I know that you said that we have another holiday song on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that you want to sort of tease out for fans today? Anything else that we can expect to see in particular?
Video for Delicious Orange, right?
Yeah, we're probably going to do a video for Delicious Orange, the Christmas song I released this past holiday season. And there's a couple songs that already have meat to them. There's one which I really like, it's called Blue Eyes. We won't go much further into the other songs that are coming out, but look out for that one.
And then we wrote a Christmas song together. It's funny.
Yeah,
it's snarky. It's snarky. Yeah,
cool.
it's snarky. But yeah, I think that's a lot of the themes with your songs is they just got a little quirk to them, and I find that's your style, and I love that so much. There's always kind of like a slight satire, a slight quirk in all of your songs. And yeah, it makes it really unique. I've never seen anyone write like you, so it makes it really unique. So it's fun. Yeah.
Thanks.
But
That's what's coming up.
I think we've highlighted an awful lot today. Is there anything else that we want to touch on?
I don't know. I think
We
I
have
feel pretty good.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the Josie Music Awards. That's this October, and we're nominated for the EP of the year.
Yep.
And then you are nominated for
There's Song of the Year for Summer Days.
Summer Days. Yeah,
That was cool.
Song of the Year. Yeah, that's pretty
then,
cool. And then
Artist of the Year,
Artist of the Year.
multi-genre. So
yeah, so we're excited about that. And they still actually have a couple more awards to announce, so we might hopefully get maybe one or two more. But either way, it's at the Grand Ole Opry. If you don't know what the Josies are, it's the biggest independent music award show like in North America. So it's held at the Grand Ole Opry, and it's a great show. It's really great. I get to discover so many other artists and be a part of just something that's really neat. And so I recommend if you guys want to go. It's tickets I think are still available. And then we have, like I said, the holiday stuff coming out, your guys' collaboration coming out, and we're gonna keep seeing where A Soul Journey takes us. But yeah, if you guys are fans or discovering Gareth's stuff, check out his music. He's streaming. He's got all kinds of streams. Like you're up there in your numbers for sure.
yeah, up.
Yeah, and he's got some great songs. So check it out as we continue to keep making more music. So
And the music videos on YouTube. So those are fun too.
oh yeah,
Actually, sorry, before we wrap up, do we have questions on there
Well, I'll go look.
on the screen? Sorry, my contacts aren't quite that good yet, but I want to be sure that if anyone has a comment, we can be sure to answer.
he's got a couple comments and they said they love how you describe Gareth's album. Cool.
Nice, thank you everybody. Yeah, I don't really have anything else.
If you guys have any questions, this
Yeah.
is the time.
Kind of put them
We got a few minutes left.
through on the chat.
But you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, share this live. Let's get everybody on. As indie artists, we appreciate everything you guys do. Everybody counts. We appreciate every bit of support. So
Anything you can do, we love it.
do you want to do shout outs to all your social media?
Yeah,
Instagram?
so I think it's Gareth Campbell Music on Instagram, Gareth of All Trades on TikTok. You can find me on Facebook. Those are my most kind of active platforms, and then everything on YouTube and whatnot. So check everything out, and on the streaming services.
Excellent. Janey, little self plug.
Yeah,
here.
self-plug. Janey Violet songs on everything. It will probably be Cassidy Brown songs soon. I'm going to be releasing some draggy alien cowgirl photos and music in the next few months. So if you're into that kind of stuff, please pop over and check me out. And then I also, look forward to promoting Gareth and I's song. Anything?
You have a holiday song too?
Oh, I do have a holiday song too coming out. I have a little interfaith, fun holiday song that should be out shortly. So I look forward to sharing all of these amazing projects with all of you.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yes, guys, check out her. She's awesome, amazing. I love your vocals. They're like
Thank you.
they're like a new age Dolly Parton. I know.
Always
I said
the
it.
goal.
I said it. But yeah, that's how I describe her vocals.
Appreciate it.
But yes, check out her stuff, check out Gareth's stuff, and then my name's Justine Blazer. You guys can follow me at Justine Blazer on Instagram, X, Facebook. I'm on justineblazer.com is my website, and YouTube, TikTok. I think I hit them all, but yeah, just search Justine Blazer, and my studio is 1017 Studios.
Yes, and Justine is amazing to work with. So
Yep.
if you are an artist looking to find a producer, I cannot speak highly enough of Justine. She's been absolutely amazing and helped me in so many ways. So I would definitely check her out if you're looking to, get your music going, or maybe, you're looking for some insight as well. She is incredible. So
Thanks.
yeah,
Thanks,
definitely
guys.
a lot of
Thanks,
good,
everybody.
a lot of good things to check
All
out
the good
today.
stuff here.
Mhm.
Woo!
Any questions before we sign off?
Oh wait, we gotta bring Maze on screen.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Sure
gosh,
is.
of course.
we forgot
Maze
to-
I forgot my
cameo.
website, GarethCampbellMusic.com. So it's got everything you want to see. Press, photos, music videos, listen to stuff. It's all there. Ta-da.
Here's my dog, studio dog
Nice.
Maze.
I will also now publicly promote my idea for your merch, Gareth, is I think you need to get shoelaces that say A Soul Journey,
Oh my god.
have your tag to
Yes.
give out to people at Josie Awards.
That would be
Soul
sweet.
Journey's shoelaces.
Mhm.
Any shows coming up you guys want to mention?
Oh my god, I have 10 this month, so
Whoa.
yeah.
Yes. Well, tell everybody.
I'm playing at Joe's Place tonight. I'll be doing a round with Candy Furno, which I'm really, really excited to do. This Friday, I'll be playing Copper Branch for an hour at 3:30. Next Sunday, I play Copper Branch at 8, and I think I play that next Sunday, or the last Sunday of the month there as well. I play Fedora Lounge at 6 p.m. on the 30th, and then a few other rounds. They'll all be posted on my social media if you're trying to come out and say hi. And I'll be in probably, full wig and showgirl costume for a few of them. So
Woo,
if you
love
like
that.
some rhinestones, it might be your thing. Please feel free to come check them out. But yeah, we got quite a few going on this month, so please join us.
And you'll see me up in Michigan playing at some farmers markets and trying to secure some other stuff, and hopefully see me at the Josie's performing and maybe the Indie Music Awards too. So yeah.
Cool. And you can find me at my studio where I pretty much hibernate. We're in the middle of rebuilding my studio. We're doing Dolby Atmos soon, so that's coming soon. So stay tuned for all that. And I usually play on the weekends in Nashville. So if you guys want specific dates, just hit me up. I usually play every Friday and Saturday downtown. So with my band, Lou Molich and the gang. So, all right, guys. Well, I think
Thank you.
that's it. We're just about out of time, folks. Y'all have a great day.
Have a good one, y'all. Thank you.
Thanks,
very much.
everybody.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.